welcome to Jeffro's AX Rated. Basically, after all the rounds, long weekends, we're going to talk about what went down here at Belfast for rounds 1 and 2 of Arenacross UK. As you can tell by my throat, 2 epic nights of racing. It really was incredible. But we're going to have a little walk around the track to show you what happens here at Belfast and how the track kind of cuts up. This is directly after the final. You can see coming out of the gate, this dirt, we use this dirt. We've been using it for the last 7 years. It gets stored in a nice dry place. It comes out. So the dirt alone has so much history to it. So coming off the gate, now tonight, let's go back, rewind to the first night on Friday. Friday night's race was unbelievable. The crowd were amazing. The very first heat over there, if you haven't seen it on the live stream already, an unbelievable incident between Joe Clayton and Jack Brunel. We're going to have a look at that later on so you can see the distances. But on that very first heat, it kicked off with so much action. They got together. Jack landed on the back of Clayton. Clayton went off down the track. Joe into the side barriers, broke some ribs, damaged his lungs, and yet he still came out tonight, which is Saturday night, and raced again. So it was unbelievable. So coming off the start, you can see obviously the nature of Arenacross. It's super compact. Belfast is one of the smallest arenas we have in overall size. Wembley is a bit kind of longer but narrower, but this is a real short run-in. Just mind yourself there, by the way, Sam, because you've got barriers behind you. So these get moved out of the way. So this basically effectively comes the first corner. So they come into here, and I've got to tell you, Arenacross starts are so important. I mean, I can't stress that enough. So we saw a load of hustle and bustle in here. Again, watch the live stream for both nights and you'll see what I mean. They came straight into this first rhythm section. Now, we all watch AMA Supercross, we watch FIM World Supercross, but Arenacross is a bit more compact and tight. So you don't have those huge jumps. But this one, to get straight into rhythm section, caused a few problems. Certainly as they come in to the first corner. Because if you look at my body angle right now, they're hitting this jump on the opening lap, and they're already scrubbing in like that. And the natural progression and momentum takes you out to here. This is why we got stuff to stop the tough blocks going off. And look, the beauty of Arenacross, how close the crowd are. I don't know how you'd feel about that. I know one thing, I'd be pretty nervous sat there. This arena is actually an ice rink. And that's another thing that we have to deal with at Belfast. What happens is, we don't obviously defrost the ice rink. So, but that moisture, even though we've got like thermal blankets over it, then tarpaulin, and then half-inch plyboards, but I think it's about 150 of them, maybe even more than that. The moisture still comes up through. So you can see here, okay, look, it hasn't dried out too much, and you can see by my footprint, there's that moisture still in the track. So along here, as always with Arenacross, we saw some unbelievable crashes, get-togethers, because this first rhythm section, how they actually come off the jump, different rhythms. The course, I have to say, credit to Elfie and Joe, have done an amazing job. The inside-outsides, as got to be said, Sam, our cameraman's doing an amazing job running backwards. Over this little double, the crowd was packed. We're getting to this key area that happened on round 1. This is where the big incident happened, and it was a big incident. So you can see here, just come over here, Sam, you probably want to see this. I want to show you this when you come up close. Check that. So, although we put loads of soil over the top, that gives you an idea of how the soil gets pushed down. We normally try to go, I think it's about like 7 to 8 inches layer on top, maybe even more. But such is the power of the bikes and churning it up over an evening, even though we're constantly doing track maintenance, you just get down to that and spin up. Maybe that caused the accident, I don't know. But this is what happened in the very first heat of Arenacross. Jack Brunel leading the way. Coming up the inside is Joe Clayton. He makes a move. He was hustling. Adrenaline was high, really high. And I think even for 2 experienced riders, I think the moment got the better of them. So it came around here. It was a huge hit. You've got to watch it. Joe sneaks up the inside. Jack Brunel is about there. But then Jack Brunel still makes a commitment to jump the triple. But Joe has just come over a little bit too far. And of course, Jack, well, around this point, he's somewhere about 5 feet above my finger. All of a sudden, there's a bike right where he wants to land. And like I say, it did not end well from that point. So on landing, basically, Jack Brunel just comes straight down on the back of Joe Clayton. He exited left into the side of the arena. Joe Clayton then whiskey throttled, hanging off the side of the bike because, of course, his arm got pulled down and just shot off down the track, all the way down to the corner, nearly landing at my feet as one of the presenters here. Such a mammoth crash. That was the first race of the evening. So that's what you get with Arenacross. But as we've said so many times, for those people that, you know, that don't really understand it and say, oh, it's too dangerous, why do they do it, whatever? Because they choose to. We don't make them do it. Once you're in this sport, it gets under your skin, and the lads are so committed. They want to race, they want to race hard, and accidents do happen in Arenacross. It's a high-octane sport. But this section was really good all night. The track design over both nights, with what they've got to work with, and of course we have to cater for pros as much as we have to cater for the E class, the E5 class, KTM gas, and Husky little electric bikes. And they set the whole thing alight as well. We had the Super Minis, the 65s, the Pro-Am were amazing. But we're just going to concentrate a bit more on this one about the pros. So we keep walking round. In fact, let's not, you know, you can see all the ticker tape. Let's just go over to this bit actually. So that was, this caused the whoops. I don't need to tell most of you guys about the whoops. Sorry to make you step over this, but we're going to do it anyway. Now, again, I'm going to encourage all of you to get on our YouTube channel. It will be all over our socials. The head-to-head on the first night. Josh Gilbert, coming back to Arenacross since he was a kid. Brand new ride on the Crendon Fast Track Honda. Back to that team, teammates with Conrad Muse. He wanted to make the final. He was in the head-to-head final. Jordan Booker had led most of it. Josh, in this last section, the finish corner is right here. On the 450 against Jordan's 250, I think, just got such a hook of gears. We've got, I think, 6 whoops. Not a lot in Arenacross, but they were quite big this year. Pretty much from whoop 3, Josh Gilbert went through here on one wheel, and not the wheel that you're meant to go through whoops on. Not wheel tapping, he was nose tapping. All the way, rode it out in, like, honestly, I kid you not, like some kind of rodeo bull, mechanical bull. I was watching from down there, and I'm thinking there's no way, A, he's staying on, and secondly, he's making the corner. Somehow, and I really don't know how, because they went out of my view, he managed to just get it back in check, muscle that bike. He rode high, all out of control, feet off, and pipped Jordan Booker to the finish line jump to go into the final. It was the most awesome first head-to-head we could have possibly asked for the year. The other thing I liked about the head-to-heads, big time, as we said, this time it's an all-British affair, okay? We don't have any foreign riders coming in and riding. The reason for that is we really want to try and make it a real good scene in the UK, encourage UK talent to come through to eventually move on to bigger and better things. And of course, we're seeing that. In the first final on Saturday night, we had Tommy Searle taking the win, the current MX1 British Motocross champion. Coming in second was Conrad Muse, the current MX2 champion, which was amazing. And then Josh Gilbert, after that heroic head-to-head, made it into the final and got third. Tonight's racing, Saturday, has been equally epic. But what's happened tonight? A little bit of role reversal. Josh Gilbert, perfect day. Qualifying quickest, winning his heats, getting the whole shots. He did the same in the final to lead all the way. Tommy Still tried as hard as he might to chase him down, even though when he came into lap traffic, Tommy got close, but not close enough. But the heroic story of Belfast for me this weekend is unquestionably Jack Brunel. Started potentially as a favourite, one of the real favourites for this championship. First heat, he's in the wall, busted up. couldn't ride yesterday, went off to hospital, come back this morning. Most of us just couldn't believe our eyes when he was in the pit area and he gets his kit bag out and starts kitting up to go and ride. And he's come out tonight and got a third. I interviewed him during the show. It nearly brought him to tears. He was so emotional, and he still is now. So just an epic first 2 rounds here at Belfast. We love coming here. Hopefully you're back in 2024. But I've got to say, Belfast always delivers. And again, just epic racing. Cannot wait to get to Aberdeen next week for another double header. Okay, we just spoke about what's happened over the weekend on the track and how that holds up. Now we're at Packdown, and these guys, after 2 nights of intense racing, they want to get out of here as quickly as they can. You can see the Revo team packing up. That's Tommy Searle's bike in the back. There's mechanic Luke, still wearing shorts in this weather. He's obviously insane. So he's packed down, but we've still got teams in here. And of course, we've got the team, the Crendon Fast Track Honda team. These guys are currently leading the team championship. He's mid-conversation, but I'm gonna grab him. I'm gonna grab him because he's the winner. He's the winner. How's that sound?
Good, really good actually. Even better in Arenacross.
Yeah. So listen, we're 2 rounds in. You haven't raced it since a kid. As we said, new team, new bike, moving up to the 450 class. What a way to start your season, because it's effectively your race debut doing Arenacross, and there you are going 2-1, right in the mix. What's it feel like?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I'm going to be completely honest. I was not expecting that coming into it. I felt good on the bike coming in, but I knew that the guys were going to be fast. There's Supercross guys here that ride it week in, week out. But yeah, it was a great weekend. Feeling amazing on the bike lately, feeling really, really comfortable. And we just had overall just a solid weekend. We got better and better every single session, improved a lot, and then on the final night got all the rhythms dialed in, and yeah, managed to put a perfect race together.
For those that follow you and know what we're looking at, you could see that throughout the entire weekend. A little bit tentative, obviously, because you haven't done it in a long time. As experienced as you are, GPs and all that, new team, new sponsors, you know, that still adds a degree of pressure, but you just seem to take your time with it. And certainly this morning in practice, I thought, okay, he's having fun now. I mean, he's got this thing dialed, he's into it.
Yeah, definitely. It was, for me, the biggest part is judging the triples and things like that. On an outdoor track, you hit everything pretty much full gas, you know, so whereas, and you'd never have another jump afterwards. So that was the most difficult part for me, was judging the jumps. But once we got them down, even at the start of the first round yesterday, I was fast everywhere else. I just didn't have the triples dialed. But yeah, like I said, we were sensible. We didn't go all guns blazing and start jumping triples in the first session, you know. So I just warmed my way into it, and didn't make no mistakes all weekend. Actually didn't hit the ground once, so I did not even slip off. So
that helps in Arenacross.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
definitely helps.
So it was just overall a really solid weekend.
I bet it's probably because your team manager, because he's a top Arenacross rider. DT, if you're watching this, was he on the phone giving you some sound advice how to race Arenacross? Because of course he was dab at it.
Yeah, I think the main thing was just be sensible. I think that was the
exactly that.
That was the main route. But no, he gave us some great advice out in Spain when we were doing some testing and things like that. And yeah, he's an amazing boss to have. You know, such a lot of knowledge, so much experience, and yeah, overall it's just a fantastic team, and I'm really happy. Well,
there you are. Not only are you in the title hunt as a team, you're leading the championship in the team championship. I'll sign off with this, Conrad, because throughout the weekend, I was out front hosting the show, all that kind of stuff. Every time I've come in here, it's felt like a really cool vibe with all you British guys doing it. I know you've never done Arenacross in the pros, but what was it like that? Because it just felt so chilled in here, as in all you guys having a good time and really enjoying the tour.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was Matt actually come in and he said he's kind of never experienced it like this before. So I think the main reason is we're all here for the same reason. You know, we all want to have fun. We're all here to get some racing done, put on a show for the crowd, and we're not here to try and kill each other every round. You know, so it's we're sensible racers, and yeah, it was just great because we got some really good speed in over the weekend. Tommy rode fantastic. He was pushing me in that final. So and all the other riders, you know, Josh got a bit unfortunate, but he was a massive help with the winning team thing. Yeah. And now both of us are on top for leading the championship for the team. So yeah, it's nice to take that home for the boss.
We'll let you get on your way now. I was going to say go and have a beer, but he's an athlete and probably won't. Me, on the other hand, I'm definitely down in a whiskey or two in a minute. Well done, Conrad.
Thank
There
you
you go.
very
So
much.
he won tonight on Saturday. So that's a little insight. That is Jeffro's AX rated. Hope you enjoyed that. We're going to be doing this again after Aberdeen to let you know what's going on there. Careful, Sam. He's just a tough block. Even on camera, it's a tough block. Look, we'll see you in Aberdeen. Don't forget to tune in for the live stream. You know, that's going to be epic again. And a whole new venue for us. So we'll see you there. Keep following us on the socials. Let's hear your positive comments and let's try and raise the game with Arenacross UK. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.